Welcome in Line by Line, guys. Today we are discussing a song by Miley Cyrus called Wrecking Ball. And I have the honor of hosting Frymatic from Brazen Studios. Extremely talented artist. Please check him out and also subscribe to all the links below.
Thank you.
Welcome. So Frymatic, why did you choose this song?
I don't know. It's a good song. I remember a few times it spoke to me.
Yeah.
I think Miley Cyrus is hot.
She is, yeah.
And I don't know, songs about love are always good.
Yeah. She has this, when she sings, her voice breaks sometimes, and it does it for me. Like it feels very real, full of energy and light. It's really a pleasure. I like Miley Cyrus. Shout out. Like I'm totally tagging her in here. Okay.
Miley is the shit.
Exactly.
Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. We clawed, we chained our hearts in vain. We jumped, never asking why. We kissed, I fell under your spell. A love no one could deny. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie, running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls, and all you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me. I put you high up in the sky, and now you're not coming down. It slowly turned, you let me burn, and now we're ashes on the ground. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie, running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, I just closed my eyes and swung. Left me crashing in a blazing fall. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to let me in. And instead of using force, I guess I should have let you in. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to let me in. I guess I should have let you win. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you.
I love it. Excellent reading. Thank you.
Do what I can. Although reading a song like that I've heard so many times and it has spoken to me every time, it's really hard to read it and not try to sing it. Although it'd be pretty rough to hear me try to sing Miley Cyrus. All right, first stanza, line by line. We clawed, we chained our hearts in vain. We jumped, never asking why. We kissed, I fell under your spell. A love no one could deny. All right, so what does that mean to you, Kara?
It means that she met somebody that she immediately jumped full on with her heart into a relationship with, and without questioning. It usually happens when we don't know another person that very well. So all the blanks would be filled in with our ideals, and that would give us the freedom to go into a relationship without asking anything. And she calls it under your spell. Allow no one could deny it, but I think it would be like the first infatuation, where we, just imagine we know the person. Kinda. What does it mean to you?
All right, so this one on the whole reminds me of a specific relationship from around the time the song came out. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the timing. Timing is everything. But I think the first stanza is interesting because it opens the story of the song with, like this mutual infatuation. It ends with a love no one could deny. But leading into that, the first line is like already just this kind of like metal, like grimy concept. We clawed, we chained our hearts in vain. And so like in vain, so
Mm-hmm.
vanity is like, things we do narcissistically to support our image or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with the superficial. It's not character building stuff. It's like did I look good in this one? Let me take another selfie. Um, how many likes am I going to get on Instagram for this? Like, the real
Mm-hmm.
important stuff. No, vanity. And so, we clawed is
Mm-hmm.
like, and then we chain like, we're trying to like, I don't know, what do you do with chains? You secure things in a fashion that's like beyond question whether or not it's going to stay there. You chain someone to the wall, you chain your
Mm-hmm.
bike to a lock or a rack, those sorts of things. And so like it all done in the name of vanity. Like, all right, so we
Preservation, even.
sure, but preserving what? And then in this case, it seems to be this preserving this mutual infatuation. But
Mm-hmm.
we jumped, never asking why. So it's like, out of vanity, I saw something in someone that seemed like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, that would go very well with what I'm trying to do. And they saw the same from their perspective. And so we jumped into this thing, never asking, like, why are we doing this? We just jumped knowing, oh, I'd like some of that. And we both said the same thing about one another because it was a mutual infatuation. Um,
That sounds very relatable, Jude. Like extremely. Sounds like actually, yeah.
yeah. And so we kissed. I fell under your spell.
Mm-hmm.
A love
And,
no one could deny.
yeah.
And so, it's this like unpretentious love where, or lust, maybe it's not
Mm-hmm.
quite love yet because this is about the haste of the beginning of this particular co-infatuation. We
They want
clawed,
to
we chained, we did
consume
dirty
it
things.
while it's strong, like while it's there, while it gives us all these feelings. They will immediately want to jump on it and chain it by consumption. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
but
how I
it's
see
this
it.
like over eager, just like start
I
of a
don't know what's
relationship.
wrong with over eager. I'm an artist, so for me, over eager is a norm.
Hey, I'm not questioning it. I'm in fact saying like the song came out around a time when I was like experiencing about that same thing because a lot of millennials were about that age that time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very
time people,
relatable song.
yeah, it's relatable. Okay, so next stanza is on you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Don't you ever say, I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie, running away from a lie. I will always want you. I mean, what I see in that line, that feeling, I will always want you, is the cry of the moment of the now. She doesn't know what will be in the future, but right now she feels like she will always feel that. And that sounds to me like infatuation, the feeling of infatuation, where like it's so powerful to me, it's so disarming, it kind of go through entire being that I cannot imagine myself not ever feeling that anymore. And again, extremely relatable.
Yes, yeah, extremely relatable. I think the perspective of this stanza is sadly extremely relatable, and depending on how masochistic you want to be, it's always something you can feel again if you've ever gone through a breakup. Because it starts with, don't you ever say I just walked away, which is to say they are now separate. um,
Oh.
uh, but the reprimand is in the projected accusation that the singer of this song just left. You know, it was just some capricious departure because, you know, the next thing came along. Like, no, don't you ever fucking say I walked away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gave this a real shot. I felt this through. We forgive, we forgot, we tried to come back, we tried to salvage this thing. But like, don't you ever say I just walked away.
I have a question to you about I can't live a lie running for my life. What
Yeah.
what does it mean?
You know, there are always WTF lines in music. I think
Mm-hmm.
often because uh, sometimes they're just looking for something that's easier to allocute and work with the song. But then, you know, sometimes also just a little bit more cryptic than the others. I can't live a lie running for my life. Um, I don't know. Maybe this is something about. Well, it says twice, "I will always want you." So it's from the
Mm-hmm.
perspective of they're broken up and they're not together. The first part saying like, "Don't just ever say I just walked away." Well, maybe
Mm-hmm.
what they're saying is like, "I didn't walk away. I fucking ran away because
Mm-hmm.
this was toxic." And so, you know, I
Too
can't live a
much.
lie running for my life. It's like, don't say I walked
Mm-hmm.
away. I fucking ran away from that fucking dumpster fire, freaking slow motion train wreck.
It does remind me, like that line reminds me of Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. Like she's here, I will always want you.
Oh shit. Well, Miley does a lot of references to the greats in her art. Unfortunately, it got her nabbed by this one lyric, but
Mm-hmm.
that one, yeah, I will always.
She's
Oh, I
like,
always want you.
if I should have stayed, I would not be in your way. And then she would, like, I'm sorry, I'm talking back to Whitney Houston's lyrics in I Will Always Love You. If I should have stayed, I would be in your way. Yeah, sorry, digressing. Next line, Woody.
Okay, next line. Uh, I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wreck me. Okay, so for me, like I said, this kind of like timed well with the relationship that felt about the same. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Miley and I are like very similar in age. And
Mm-hmm.
so like the things she was going through in her life were the things that I was going through at the time because, you know, we're both millennials. Um, and so, you know, I came in like a wrecking ball. So I'd see this like this line is being sung by my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in like a wrecking ball because like, you know, we first met on my very first party bus. She was on this trip and, you know, we chained our hearts in vain and got something going between the two of us like relatively quickly. The next party bus came around and she was like the first person to sign up. Like, all right, we're going on a date. But you know, I've never been so hit so hard in love. She maybe never hit so hard in love, but I've also never been hit so hard in love. So it did seem like she wanted to just like, I don't know, make some changes to my life that would fundamentally alter my bearing on existence. And she did. And I don't regret letting her do that. Because the world has never looked different or never looked
Mm-hmm.
the same since. There we go. It's um but also, I don't know, in the process of her taking down some of the things that she saw as problems, she kind of like, I don't know, unmade herself because the things she was
Oh,
asking me to tear down were like these, you know, like human relationships that I had. And, you know, I think it's always easy to be like, oh, I don't like how this person treats you in life, or like, I don't like the way they behave, and therefore I don't want you to be influenced in behavior by them. Um, or, you know, they only focus on some like negative aspect and miss all the rest of it. But, you know, out of this, you know, crazy relationship, kind of go like, yeah, okay, cool. I'd see life without them in the equation for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you wanted me to break my walls, and you saw some of those walls as people. Um, well, it's not necessarily going to get the like most positive feedback from the community, certainly from the individual. And, maybe that did kind of wreck her to bear the response of asking someone to like cut people out of their life. Um, so
That's very common, actually.
it's quite common, like, oh, these are my friends and those are your friends. Like we're all some sort of weird property to one another.
But another even thing, when you meet somebody who is so into you that they are afraid to lose every single bit of power over you, and each time your attention would be caught by somebody else, like, oh, sorry, I cannot hug you because I'm on the phone with that person. That person on the phone with you becomes the target for removal, regardless of how good they are for you. Regardless, maybe on the phone you even talking how to make her life better, but for her, if in the now you deprived her of your attention because of the person on the phone, she will like, I will eliminate that person on the phone. Next time he will be all mine. Like that's the way a lot of people behave when they are really scared to lose all that wrecking ball power. You know, like imagine in the past, she would be like, I want to spend the evening with you, only with you, nobody else. And you'd be like, yes, because you're awesome. But next, like couple weeks later, you're a bit cooled down and she's like, I want to spend the evening with you, only with you. And you're like, listen, I agreed to spend my evening with that other person. And
Yeah,
so she will see it as her wrecking ball power is not having enough hit on you. So she will try to wreck that other person instead of, I guess, making her more interesting or appealing.
yeah.
And
Wow.
it's a very common scenario. Like, I understand it in and out. Like, I've been on both sides of that thing. Like, I
Yeah,
have
I
done
think we
this
all
to
have.
people as well.
I guilty as charged as well.
And the thing is that this power of this wrecking ball, it's like extremely visual, but it's also true. It comes with full swing and breaks everything, but actually eventually if you don't swing it, it cools down and just like hangs there. And that you cannot do
Yeah.
anything. Like there is no more walls to break, and but nobody also swings it in their relationship. And she runs away because she could not track anything else. That's what I think.
Yeah. All right.
Like,
Next one's on you. I put you high up in the sky.
okay, I put you high up in the sky, and now you're not coming down. It slowly turned. You let me burn, and now we are ashes on the ground. What do you think about that, Frymatic?
Mm, well, I think that to like break your walls and wrecking and all of that, you hear a lot in relationships about so and so trying to change a person, or a person trying to be changed by their partner or whatever. Um, and so I think often when there's like a productive pair bonding relationship, the the people are kind of like interdependent. They're not codependent. Um, they're people that can kind of stand in their own right, and that's why they were, attractive at the beginning of the relationship. But then there's this kind of like 2 + 2 = 5 moment when you've got two full people lending new perspective to one another's already successful equation for how they navigate life. And, so like you elevate one another. And so to take the selfish perspective, you would say something like, I put you high up in the sky, versus, we both unlocked one another to go to the next level. But there's like, I changed you, therefore I get credit for the fact that like you leveled up with your time around me. And I think all relationships level people up. What they
True.
level you up on is not necessarily some thing or set of things you get to choose. But it's a pressure added in areas often unexpected that changes you and makes you level up. And so if you want to do the selfish perspective of it, it's I put you high up in the sky. And now you're not coming down. Because like who levels up only to level down again? I don't think you get to level down in life. You might get demoted in work as a professional. But I think experience is only in one direction. You can't have fewer experiences.
Well, it makes me think about the advice my mom gave me once. So, you love somebody, or like that first person, you make that person so important to you that whatever they say, it can either make you feel really good or really bad. Like you made them so important to you. And my mom said, you have to level their importance to you down. And the process would be called detronization, like to get them out of your throne. Like you put them on a throne, you have to get them down. Otherwise, whatever they do will hurt you, and you will be having desire to retaliate, and it will break the relationship. But it's not because they did something wrong. No, they are who they are. They act in their free will. But your expectations of them are so high that there was this song, you put me on a pedestal so high I was short of breath. So in here,
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
I
pedestal. That's the turn of phrase I was going to mention. Was like put you on a
exactly.
pedestal.
Like he has this pressure to live up to something, right? And he's just like a normal person. He wants to be loved for who he is, not for who she imagined him to be, right? And so what she does is, she said, I put you high up in the sky. So she set up the parameters for him to be this version that she imagines him to be, like angel-like person.
Yeah,
And then he's like, listen, and also for that person, it's extremely hard because she doesn't see him and love him for who he is. She just wants, he's like this shell for her fantasy. And like,
yeah,
of course, the person will rebel. I want you to love me for who I am, no, not for who you imagine me to be. And yeah, and now you're not coming down, so he doesn't live up to her potential, whatever
yeah,
she thought he is. It slowly turned, you let me burn, and now we are ashes on the ground. So actually, she burned herself here, in my opinion. It's not like he did not live up to, like he did not do. She put him high up in the sky. He did not live up to it. She got hurt. And now they
yeah,
both hurt as a consequence. So from that lines, I actually think she's to blame. Actually, I don't know. I
yeah.
might be projecting though.
Yeah, well, it slowly turned. I mean, what is it in this moment? Is an interesting question. I think that the fun part about open-ended lyrics is that's an opportunity for the listener to fill in the blanks with their own experience. It slowly turned. So, let's say the relationship turned, kind of like how milk can turn and go bad. It slowly turned. You let me burn. And so it's like, all right, the tables turned maybe also, and she
Yeah.
was now exposed to the heat that, that she was previously exposing to this person maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of saving them, because they're like, hey, I'm done with this. Like, I don't need to save you from that fire that you just held me to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and now we're ashes on the ground. I think the we're ashes on the ground kind of refers to like the relationship itself. It's this past thing. There was once heat and brilliance coming from it, but the fuel is gone, the fire is dead, and all that remains are ashes on the ground. You know, evidence that there was something there, but you know,
Okay.
not to be had again because it's all spent.
Too fast.
Yeah.
I agree
Or,
with you.
you know, too fast, but certainly no more.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the next one? Don't you ever say, I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie running for my life. I will always want you. Now, I think we read this one previously. So
Yeah.
this is one of the refrains. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't just walk away. I ran away. Cool.
Good summary.
Let's go to the next one.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, I just closed my eyes and swung, left me crashing in a blazing fall. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wreck me. Now, with respect to the relationship, I'd say that
Mm-hmm.
synchronizes kind of with the release of this song. Um, I don't think we left either of us in a blazing fall. I think we're still doing
Yeah.
okay. But still, when it comes to relationships, there are times when it's just a fiery explosion. It's a it's sudden, it's gruesome, and certainly never to be again. Where it's like, whoa, okay, we both got to stop like contributing to that, or maybe it's just one party
Mm-hmm.
that's like, no, fuck that. I don't care if I'm your favorite. Like that is not good for me. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I came in like a wrecking ball. I like the whole I just closed my eyes and swung, because it's like, okay, I want to take a shot at this, but like I don't know, you're like bracing for impact because you just closing your eyes, and then like it's also if someone closes their eyes and swings, whether it's you know throwing a punch or
Yeah.
swinging a baseball bat, or
For me, it's just like jumping with a parachute because I used to jump with parachute and I also used to bungee jumping, and like it's the thing, and I'm like I'm doing it and I'm jumping like this
yeah,
impulsive thing.
yes, impulsive. That's a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
The I just closed my eyes and swung. Yeah, impulsive action. That's what it's the like real crux of this whole song is. It's like things started in a
Mm-hmm.
poorly formed fashion. They started quickly. They started impulsively.
Those are my favorite, by the way. Honestly,
I think
like
I think we all enjoy them.
yeah, each
But
time
let
I go for life, as like I regret things I haven't done rather than things I have. Like everything I have done, even if it was a mistake, I don't regret it. It was like, yes, it enriched my life. And the things where I have done nothing, oh, I regret it.
yeah,
Like I could have done something, I didn't. The moment is gone. Damn it.
yeah. Now there's kind of something funny about this, which is
Mhm.
um I came in like a wrecking ball. All you ever did was wreck me.
Oh,
Um,
like,
I think it's kind of funny as the person who was to be wrecked,
hmm
who had someone come in like a wrecking ball. I don't come in like a wrecking ball because if I come in like a wrecking ball, shit gets wrecked. So I don't do it.
Like, no, I think what she means, like his wall was so strong she could not break it, and she broke instead. Like she was like
Yeah,
coming
it's
like a racquetball, and just boom, a wall that is stronger than you, and she's like,
exactly, and that's the funny part to me because it's like this. The imagery is like, oh, a wrecking ball coming in, but it's like if
"Eh."
yeah, if you were playing the children's like birthday game, a pinata, where
Mhm.
it's full of candy and you're hitting it with a baseball bat.
Pinata hits you back.
No, it's like if the baseball bat was made of pinata stuff and the pinata itself was like, a bowling ball. It's like and there's just the bat explodes.
Oh, that's a beautiful imagery, by the way. No, I was thinking
That's
about this ostrich and coyote thing, animation, where the ostrich would be running like beep beep, and the coyote would keep chasing him as a wrecking ball, and then like ostrich would paint imaginary tunnel on a
Wait, are you
mountain, and
talking
the
about the Roadrunner? Talking
yes,
about the Roadrunner.
yes, and he would run and like break into a like imaginary
Yeah,
mountain tunnel, and boom. That's
yeah,
what I see when I remember she wrecked him because like he painted the tunnel, imaginary tunnel. Here is the imaginary thing you can go through and feel
yeah,
happy with me, and she's like, yes, and she's like, oh
yeah.
no, it was imaginary.
No, it was a little bit more resistance than I was expecting. Thought I was going to knock down some walls. Like, oh no. Okay, I never meant to start a roar.
Mhm.
I just wanted you to let me in, and instead of using force, I guess I should have let you win. So obviously, the song is all about like the aftermath of a breakup. Um, you know, th- these people were infatuated with one another, and it's from the perspective of the person that was really just trying to like just hastily in an impulsive fashion like get into this person's life, and so you know they did
Mhm.
whatever they could, and unfortunately they kind of forced it. They didn't let it be organic. They just wanted to get in, um, but rightfully so, their approach was offensive, and so they never meant to start a war, but they certainly did, because like rather than doing things in a measured fashion, they rushed in, and I don't know. Don't use
I
force. Don't force it. Finesse it.
shut out. Okay, I think when she means to start a war, I just wanted you to let me in. So when she broke against his wall, right, like she was like coming as a racquetball, she broke it and then she's like in two pieces. And then she would let me in. So she would use all the means necessary to break through. And I guess she would like think of all the weak points the guy might have. And she would like try to use it instead against him, like to insult him or something. And that's what, like, there is a bomb. There is another bomb. There is another bomb. And she was like hoping that he will open up. And instead she broke it more, which is
Yeah,
again very common, and again
yeah,
projection. Mhm.
yeah. Well, I've done it myself. I got a little hasty.
Mhm.
I was opportunistic instead of gentlemanly, um, and instead of getting what I wanted, I got the exact opposite. Didn't mean
Mhm.
to start a war. I was trying to start a romance. Uh, should I do the last stanza?
Sure.
It's very similar.
Mhm.
Same thing again. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to let me in. And then I guess I should have let you win. Just going back to the beginning of the thing, this was like
Mhm.
two people infatuated with one another, and they jumped into this thing without questioning whether or not they should or why they were doing it in the first place.
Mhm.
But then it apparently became a competition at some point, and the one party wanted to like show that their way was the right way,
Mhm.
and you know, if they're trying to start a warm romance and it's turning into a war, you know, maybe they should have just given up on that particular battle and said like, all right, you know what, let's compromise here. But, don't you ever say I just walked away, because I fucking ran away. No, don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. Yeah, it's a romance gone bad. The wrecking ball was wrecked.
I think she could not break him. And because she could not break him, she ran away and she wanted him to chase her. And she's like, I will always want you. Now chase me. And he doesn't.
Like, maybe that's the sequel to this song.
Yeah. Like she's waiting to be chased. The sequel to the song. Wrecking Ball stands. She's waiting to be chased. And he's like, I'm building the wall again on the other side.
Shit. That's pretty good.
Did our analysis change anything about your perception of the song, Frymatic?
It definitely is the most in-depth I've thought about every single line. And so I'll any other songs that really spoke to me, I'll try to dredge them up and we'll go over them, because this was awesome. Like I never looked so like so close at this song. I just know I felt it, and now I like really feel it differently. So that's cool.
No, that's absolutely joy. By the way, like I liked using my free time to analyze that song, and I'm so grateful you used your free time for that. And I hope it will not go unnoticed by other people out there. Guys, please value your free time. Okay.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Kara's awesome show here, line by line, and then everything else on her channel.
Yeah, and also Frymatic's links are provided below. Please follow him. And thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. I love that song. Somehow I always focus on the visual. By the way, have you seen that awesome video that was done, a parody on Wrecking Ball by Jeremy?
Like where he's like naked on the wrecking ball and all that.
Yeah.
I think maybe. I think I've seen many actually.
By the way, your tagline says Woody Houghton. just saying. Just saying. It will be on video. Yeah. I can't hide it.
But like I said, I'm not like hiding the fact that there's a connection between this Woody Houghton guy and this Frymatic character.
I
just don't really.
Woody.
Yeah, they're both fun names. My dad saw to the first one, but Frymatic I came up with on my own. But yeah, all right, we're Frymatic now. But again, I'm not going to be like, hey, you know me as this name. Would you like to know another name other people know me as? It's just not worth it. So if you,
I'm Batman. I love it. Do you know Screen Junkies? Exactly. Or Hisha, how it should have ended. So they have this line where it's like, they have Batman going in the cafe, like superhero cafe. I'm Batman. Do you want to know my secret identity? To every girl.